What is going on, herd? Welcome to the channel. Thanks for tuning into a video. Today we're going to be discussing an ongoing comment I keep on getting, right? Black Sheep, do you even drift? Before we get started with today's video, 87% of you are not subscribed, and I know you guys are consistently watching, or a large chunk of you are, because that is not changing, that number. That means only 13% of you that are watching this consistently are subscribed. That is going to be a problem, all right? Subscribe to the damn channel. It takes a couple seconds out of your time. Secondly, stay tuned in this video to see not only the 2 drift tracks that are going to be releasing on PlayStation 4 in the upcoming, very soon upcoming future, but also we're going to release a little information on which console we're looking at probably going to on next gen. With that said, this can be a yes or no answer, right? Yes, I'm still drifting, but I think you guys want to know a bit more, right? With keeping it short, I don't want to talk for 20 minutes, all right? I want to give you guys straightforward information, and so let's just basically get into it, right? Going back to the beginning, most of the content releasing on this channel, 95% of it was drift-oriented. Not only drifting, but GTA 5 drifting, right? Started with the tutorials, went up with the Does It Drift series, and after that it was anything drift-oriented. Basically anything to do with the drift community that we could showcase and have some fun with. Well, the more you do one thing repetitively, the older it gets, right? The more stale something gets, and that was the first plague of my real taking breaks. But before we get into that, I think the most important thing to explain is this channel was never meant to be a priority for me. The first videos I put out were recorded for fun and edited down for fun, and really, like, if I got 400 or 500 views on it over a couple years, I was happy with that, right? That was more than what I ever expected. If you really want to know my real goal, it was just to eventually get 10,000 subscribers. So when your goals are set so low and you crush them immediately, guess what comes along with that? More demand. And if you get more demand, you're like, they're demanding this, I want to try to meet that demand. So you try to crank out more content. You start cranking out too many videos, and when they're so oriented around one thing and such a small niche thing like it is with Grand Theft Auto 5 drifting, you start to get very stale with the game. And what would happen to me is I'd get pulled away from the game for 2, 3, 4 weeks at a time, and the longer I'd get pulled away from the game, the easier it was for me to say, wow, how relieving this is. And in all reality, I'm grateful for that demand, but even at 54,000 subscribers, I'm not even at probably half the amount making per month of what I can live off of at a very low ramen noodle type lifestyle. So that leads me to have to work a normal job and have to push forward with other things, right? Which pushes a channel like this that has demand on it down lower and lower on the priority list. And the lower it goes on the priority list, the longer these breaks started to happen, and the more frequently they started to happen too. Now, those breaks didn't really start happening until about 2 years ago, maybe slightly over 2 years ago. We already had well over 2 years of very consistent content going onto this channel, so we built up a very good little solid core of subscribers, a little bit of a cult following, as I kind of always referred to them as, the Black Sheep herd, the OBs, the original Black Sheep. And there's still a good chunk of those OBs out there, I will say that. Your comments don't go unviewed. Long story short, these breaks actually worked in my benefit over time, because what happens over time when you're not playing a game? A game that you really do like, right? I've been playing Grand Theft Auto from the very beginning. And when I mean the beginning, I don't mean September 13th, 2016. No, I mean when it released on PlayStation, the original one. I was playing it with my uncle, the overhead view. I remember stealing cars and burning out with them, and flamethrower was my weapon on there. I loved it. I've been playing GTA from the beginning. The open world game is my favorite, and I love the modern style game over everything else. GTA is my game. It's why I get so critical with it. It's why I get upset at times, and it's why I ultimately get so invested in emotional with other things like crews and stuff within the game. Developing things that the game didn't anticipate, but you're doing externally, and the game supports it fully. I love doing things like that. I still have a passion for doing things like that. Long story short, you take these breaks, and it makes you want to play the game again. So you come back and you start cracking out content again. Bam, making videos. Well, the more you make videos, the more demand raises. And the more demand raises, the more videos you want to make. And the more videos you make, trying to keep up with demand, well, the older the game gets. It gets stale again real quick. You start going from having a positive attitude to being like, and this car sucks, and this and that. Like, you don't really have a great outlook on things. Now, that's a long-term repetitive thing over a couple years, right? And we've seen me come back and make content. But the one thing we've seen is the drift content kind of dwindle down, right? We haven't seen nearly the same consistency in the amount. I've I've wanted to get back into the drifting stuff. I've even hinted towards holding some drift events, and then I got back onto PlayStation 4, and I realized I have to make this whole entire new character. It's been a pain in the ass. After grinding and hustling for a month and a half, and Cayo Perico coming out, and now I'm money grinding, and I'm only at level 83. I don't have turbo tuning. I didn't do the 40 races in a supercar. I've been obligated to just grind through and get to level 100 to release. So I don't have engine level 4. I don't have turbo tuning. I need those. Most drift vehicles in the game that are consistent need those. I know there's some that I'm utilizing, as you're seeing in the video here, like the Rapid GT, that do drift just fine. You're going to have to straighten them out a bit more, though, to connect some of those longer drifts. A lot more than what you would have to with the turbo tuning and that engine. As you've seen in the beginning of the video, the Schwarzer, it legs down, it bogs out, it straightens you out, you can't engage the speed boost as efficiently, it makes your drifting look like crap. So I've been obligated to do that, but I'm at the point now where I've almost met my $25 million goal of making money on PS4, so I have a good little bankroll there. I do have a little bit of money saved up on Xbox One still, and I'll go over there and hustle some money, and we'll get back to featuring basically our normal programming, if you will. And all of this comes in the dawn of COVID, right? We really started pushing forward with getting back to things, and I've really only taken one break from the channel since COVID started, and that's due to a family death. Grandpa passed away, not looking for your pities, I'm just explaining. Prior to that, for a month and a half, 2 months, we had released a video almost every week. If not, it was every 2 weeks. And now coming back for about the last month and a half, 2 months after that, we've been cutting about once a week. If not, we've been in that same range. The one thing, though, that no one is really failing to notice is, where's the drift content? Well, as I said, I'm not able to really make consistent drift content yet on PlayStation 4, and we've been working on replicating things in Creator and doing things along those lines, trying to make unique content with the Cayo Perico heist, basically trying to keep up to date with things. And so I've been trying to just get you guys some content, whether it's any content, and something that I'm not going to get burnt out on, something that I'm already usually doing. I'm already doing the heist, so why not go over some information with the heist? I'm already playing with the girlfriend here and there. Why not record a session with her? I'm already playing with the sloth every once in a while. Why not record a session with him? I made the skate park so we could have some fun on it. Why not record some stuff like that? So that's where the mentality has been coming in lately. It's not like I'm abandoning drifting or I'm never planning on returning. It's not like we're abandoning the online events either. There's so many steps you have to take, and when it's a one-man show, it's a one-man show. I have to take all the steps on my own. COVID's hit. I no longer have a job. Right now, I'm legally unemployed. So I've been kind of trying to focus more of my time onto the channel just to make it more consistent. Not that I'm focusing on it as a living. I'm not able to do that. Without unemployment, I wouldn't be able to do this at all. I would have to go literally find something. Whether it's begging groceries, I would have to do something. Thankfully, things have not deteriorated to that level, but as I said, 87% of you are not subscribed to this channel, and you are consistently watching. Most of that 87% are consistently watching, that is. That doesn't fly very well, you know, so we get the demand and we get the desire, but we stalled out around 38,000 subscribers. Everything after that has been going very slow. At one point in time, we were gaining 2,500 to 3,000 subscribers a month, and right now we're lucky to hit 900. So really, when it boils down to it, well less than 30% of what we used to get for traction. Now, I'm not blaming you guys. I'm blaming more myself for not staying consistent enough or not being able to, unfortunately. But you guys do kind of come into the factor when you're watching these videos and not subscribing. With that said, not going to babble on too much with that. Long story short, you got a little sneak peek of the 2 tracks that are going to be releasing there on PlayStation 4. And also, I did say we were going to go over that a little bit of information of what console we're looking at next. We're looking at the PlayStation 5. I have not made my decision, but I'm about 65% leaning in that direction. You will hear more about that coming in the future. So let's recap a couple things that you can expect to see coming up on the channel. Obviously, the release on PlayStation 4 of those 2 drift tracks. Also, the replica of Round 1 on Xbox One for Rally. You will see that release on PS4. On Xbox One, you will be seeing the release of Round 3, the final round of Rally Racing, which will be followed soon after by an actual event. Not just a mythical event that never happens, an actual event, a public session. We will be utilizing the crew system, so if you haven't joined up in the Blacksheep TV Events Crew or the Blacksheep TV Drift community, go join up in either one of those and you will be getting an invite. Just to clarify, guys, if you want to be in the Blacksheep TV Events Crew, you need to have an actual visible linked gamer tag or PlayStation Plus, whatever, your name online. Your name has to be visible on Social Club on your account if I'm going to accept you. If not, you just go to the Drift community and you just stay there, damn it. Of course, guys, I appreciate every single one of you tuning in, liking, commenting, Well, only 13% of you subscribe, so I really appreciate those 13% subscribers. If you haven't subscribed to the channel and you like this channel, subscribe to the freaking channel. God damn it. And with that said, as I always, hope you all stay happy out there. Please stay positive, and we will definitely speak to you next time.